Authorities say 7,500 gallons of a toxic chemical used to process coal leaked into the Elk River on Thursday from Freedom Industries, a company just upstream from a water treatment plant. The toxic spill poisoning the water that serves 300,000 people.
State and federal authorities are working around the clock in Charleston, West Virginia, after a spill leaked chemicals into the Elk River.
Hundreds of thousands of citizens in West Virginia are heading into this weekend dealing with a major water emergency.
A state of emergency has been declared in West Virginia in the USA after a chemical leak into a river. Drinking water in 9 counties has been deemed unsafe.
New warning tonight for those who are pregnant. You should not be drinking the water.
That warning comes more than 2 days after state officials told thousands of people their water was safe to drink and bathe in.
If you get it on your skin, you'll get a skin rash. If you breathe it or drink it, but especially I think breathe it, it'll irritate your nose, throat, upper respiratory tract.
Can't wash the dishes, you can't take a shower, so that's more frustrating than it is nervous or upset.
Now it's utter chaos.
Eyes burning.
It's a zoo in here, isn't it?
It's a zoo.
If I can't take a shower, it's going to be ugly.
Local tap water, not safe for drinking, cooking, bathing, or even washing dishes. The question, when will this problem be fixed?
Gotten a little more information. We'd confirmed that, yes, this came from the governor's office, and it is a do not use order, which is different than a boil water advisory, which is, I think, what a lot of people maybe wondered at first. Is this just a boil water advisory? We get those all the time. And it quickly became clear this was not a boil water advisory. This was something much more serious. I think we all were in a bit of disbelief when Gary Southern, someone handed him a bottle of water during that first news conference.
Particularly confident that it's safe.
Would you drink some from this fountain behind me?
Sure, absolutely. You want to see me do it?
Outside the Freedom Industries headquarters, and he took a swig of water. I think we couldn't quite believe that he'd made that kind of a blunder in the midst of all of this, and it really set the tone. But there were all these residual questions. Will any of the MCHM stay in my pipes? Will it cling to the metal? And what about my hot water heater? And no matter how many times we would explain the process as it had been explained to us, viewers weren't believing what they were hearing and what they were seeing. But when it comes to something as essential as water, know what's going into the water. Know how your water's processed. Understand what potential hazards there are along the waterways which feed your particular system. People didn't know.
No one was prepared for it, but also trying to fathom what it was like to be completely cut off, to not have an appropriate supply of drinking water, or to only have to be able to shower in a public space every couple of days if you're lucky. I don't know that I would say that even still we officially trust the water. We have switched to bottled water, drinking and cooking, and we also have a tabletop distiller in case we can't get to a bottled water supply. So in that, I don't know that we'll ever trust the city water system in Charleston again. I think that really West Virginians on all levels and all walks of life would serve themselves well to use the chemical spill as an excuse to be ready and proactive for the negatives that will eventually occur in life.
Most people don't think about the importance of rivers and the water in rivers for power production. We typically think, the first thing people think about is hydropower, so a dam and the Hoover Dam producing. What the chemical spill taught us is that water is extremely valuable, and we just often take it for granted because we have so much of it. If you go out west, they have droughts on a regular enough basis that they understand the value of their water. It was pointed out to me by a visiting scientist, and he has spent a lot of time out west and here back east. And he's like, the one thing that you notice when you go out west is that every hotel, every place you go to has fountains, has water fountains. And when you come east, nobody does. And the reason out west is that they want to show you. What happens here, where we get a lot of rainfall, we take water for granted. We're rarely under water stress in terms of water quantity stress. We just have so much water, and that water has a dilution value to it. So it dilutes our pollution, that we have to be protective of that water. I mean, we have to be protective of that water because so much of our state, so much of our businesses, our economy depends on it. It is not just people who care about the environment. They care about the environment because of its value to the people that live. There's a lesson in that, you know, that the less we protect, the more dependent we become on a very, very scarce resource, and the more vulnerable then we are to spills like this.